Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, just wait a few moments for everyone to show up. Welcome. Awesome. So we are common. Hello. Welcome. How are you? Hello, Andre. Welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome. And excuse me if I'm not stating your name. I'm not used to the characters from Ukraine. So I can only see the ones, I can only pronounce the ones with Latin letters. So please forgive me if I'm not um, stating your name. All right, welcome, Marcirio. We have Andre. We have, is it Titiana? Oski. Welcome. All right, so we're gonna give it just a couple more minutes before we start. Let's just do a quick little question. What's everyone's position right now? Are you holding some type of leadership positions or reasons why you wanted to join this webinar tonight? Okay, so I see. All right. Hello, Victoria. Okay, so about, let's say 7:05, you think is a good time to start? All right. Cereal. Awesome. And what is everyone's position? Do you project manager, supervisor? What do you do? And why do you feel like this webinar is important for you to attend? And thank you for joining. Business development manager. Awesome. Awesome. So, as a business development manager, obviously you hold a leadership position as well. Yeah. Sales manager. Okay. Customer service manager. Wow. It's very important. Future business analyst. Oh, yeah. That's a hard job. Business analyst. Very important job as well. Tatiana says, I'm a sales manager and I would like to improve my skills. Well, welcome. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to share with each other some skills. Okay, let me make my screen a bit smaller so I can read everyone's comments. Or let me move my camera this way. It's blocking the camera. Comments. All right, mostly BDR. BDR is business development manager, I believe. Okay, yeah. Okay, biz dev. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Is it business development? I haven't heard of biz dev before. Web developer, Valdemir. Okay. We have QA genuine time leader. Ah, okay. QA, quality assurance. Okay. I'm a product owner. Awesome. Product owner. Okay. So we just reached 7:05. Welcome, everyone. And let me just move my camera down a bit so I can read everyone's comments as we share. Maybe that's too low. There you go. As we speak together, let me move this over here. And now I can read everyone's comments. Perfect. My name is Josephine, and thank you all for joining us for this stream today. We're going to discuss how to improve customer satisfaction to increase profits in your company. Um, Assuming I've read everyone's role, almost everyone's role, I see some more QA engineer. Maria says she's a junior manual QA engineer, marketing manager. Okay. So just quick question. Why is customer satisfaction or slash customer service important to you? Why is that an important topic to discuss? Okay. Any reasons why is customer satisfaction important to your company? Any reasons? Julia says happy customers equals great results for the company. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into um, if it's either the employees that impact your company or if it's your customers that impact your company. So that's a very important topic as well that we're going to discuss. Victoria says it is the purpose why we are working for. Exactly. So we're building these companies because we want to provide service or products to our customers, right? So that's the main reason why companies exist because we're providing something to them. Another one said because it is a good mood both of us. Because it is a good mood both of us. Um, Please restate your statement. And I'm sorry, I misunderstood. And then we said we can't sell a lot without customer satisfaction. Exactly. So when you have low customer satisfaction, your sales, you can't profit in your company. It's very good. And they will be our permanent customers. Yes, absolutely. Valdemir is absolutely right because we're going to get into customer loyalty. So what does customer loyalty look like? This long-term relationship with your customers. And Julia added, this webinar is important because I hope to learn some great tips. Awesome. Thank you, Julia. Well, is not what we want. Build product that satisfy our customers. Yep. Boom. You definitely hit the head on that nail. Sometimes this is not just about us, but it's about what our customer wants, their wants and needs. All right, thank you. So let's go ahead and move on to our first slide. This introduction. My name is Josephine Fuda. I am a English and soft skills instructor for English for IT. I'm also a DevOps engineer. I've been working in the tech field for about 5 years now. And as a DevOps engineer, I work with dealing with customers, end-to-end customers. I work for back end, front end, just the importance of having a customer relationship and building customer relationship. All right. So today's agenda, we're going to start with customer centricity, understanding your customer's needs. We're going to talk about tools and measurements that we can use to improve customer satisfaction or to even understand our customer needs. We're also going to talk about strategies on delivering excellent service. And we're going to have a Q&A at the end, question and answer. All right, are we all set? Ready? Thumbs up, everyone. Or plus, you're ready to go. I see some more comments. Nelly added, a satisfied customer is a loyal customer. Exactly. Absolutely. And then I have Andre that said, I intend to move on. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So let's go on. So let's start this webinar a little bit different. Let's start with a question. Which has more influence in impacting your company profits? Do we think it's your customers or your employees? So which has more influence in impacting your company profits, your customers or your employees? What do we think? All right. Which has more influence in your company? Customers. Victoria said customers. Okay. And why do you think your customers, Victoria, why do they have more impact in your profits? Employees. Uh-huh. Employees first. Julie said employees. Okay. Black Coffee said employees. Okay. Employees. 50-50. Very good point. Is it Foot Van? Very good point. Maybe it's 50-50. Maria says customers. Okay. And just a few more questions. A few more. We have both are important. Okay. So this is what we think before we're going to progress in this slide. I think most of us say either it's 50-50 or It's our employees. So remember what you said in the beginning of this presentation. And as we share some skills and some insights about customer satisfaction, um, at the end of this presentation, I'm gonna ask this question again, and we're gonna see if your answer has changed at the end. Nelly said customer is our external customer and employee is our internal customer. So both. Very good way to think of it. So you can think of customers, employees as both customers, one that's within your company and one that's outside of your company. So the influences might be a bit different. Awesome. Victoria said, because customers generate profits, so companies should be agile to demand. Awesome. Good. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you. All right. So what is customer satisfaction, right? Customer satisfaction is defined as a measurement that determines how happy customers are with the company's products, services, and capabilities, right? So you have to know how your customer feels about your products, about your services. That is not something you can simply assume. So assumption is not the best way to look at customer satisfaction, but rather you need to implement some type of like quantitative measurement to get real-time results. So customer satisfaction again is not an assumption. It's not something that you think about, oh, do my customers like my services? Do they like my products? Am I delivering best quality services? No. For you to really understand your customers and to know whether or not they're satisfied, you need to take a quantitative measurement and you get real-time results. So we're going to take a look of different types of quantitative measurements that we can implement in our companies. And with these quantitative measurements, we can look at customer behaviors. We can find out their thoughts and feelings about our product and services. And with the number of different KPIs we can track in order to understand how satisfied our customers are and what you need to do to strengthen those efforts. So we'll get into that more later. Um, an organization main focus must be to satisfy its customers, right? So that should be your goal. Your goal should be to satisfy your customers, to make your customers' needs and wants come to pass, come to life. Customer satisfaction is ultimately a reflection of how your customer feels about interacting with your brand. Okay. So, just a little background of what's customer satisfaction. Do we agree of the important in customer satisfaction? Do we agree with any of these bullet points? Yes, thumbs up, thumbs down, share your opinion. For sure, Julie said for sure. Okay. And what other ideas or thoughts and feelings can we get from our customers about our products? Why do we need their thoughts? Why do we need to know their input in our products? Agree, but it's not enough. Okay, Victoria. We need more. Yes, yes, Julia. Okay, black coffee. Yes, absolutely. So, Victoria, you said we agree, but it's not enough. All right. So, what else would you add to customer satisfaction? What will make it more complete? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. I was waiting for Victoria to do her follow up, but Victoria, you're going to follow up with that, with your statement? If not, it's okay. We can move on. All right. So like I said, an organization main focus must be to satisfy its customers, right? So you should aim to be a customer centric company, right? Vladimir said, our goal is customer satisfaction. For this, we can change employees. Andre said, Very good policy products from Metaspoiled. Sorry, Andre, can you restate your statement? Can you rewrite your statement, please? So what does it mean for a company to be customer centric? What does customer centricity mean? There you go, Victoria. Victoria said to be competitive and gain, we should offer more innovative products. That's true. Exactly. We need to think about our competitors. How can we be better than our competitors? What makes our products stand out? And what makes our customers buy our products instead of going to our competitors? Very good point, Victoria. All right. So the question I stated, what do we think customer centric? What does centricity mean? So next slide. Centricity. Okay. Said I would add also a point about the desire of a customer to share their experience and recommend your company. Yep, exactly. Yep. So we need our customers to share their experience, and from their sharing their experience, they can actually recommend your company to other customers, right? To their peers, to their friends. So that word of mouth, word of mouth, I guess advertisement you can call, I feel to this day is very, very valuable, right? I know we have social media and other platforms to market and to get surveys from our customers, but I think word of mouth is probably one of the best ways of having more customers come to your company because as they're satisfied, they will tell other customers to also join your company or to buy your products or to or to use your services. All right. So let's move on to the next slide. So we're going to the importance of customer satisfaction, right? The key to creating a long-term relationship with your customers, right? So customer satisfaction is the key to creating a long-term relationship with your customers. So that's going back to customer loyalty, right? It's an ongoing satisfaction that leads to loyalty, right? Once customers have placed trust in your company and are assured that the company will continue to deliver, customers will continue to do business with them. So once your customers have gotten that satisfaction that they like your product, they love your service, they like to shop with you, right? They like to interact with you. Now you're going to have them coming and staying with you long term, right? Um that's really good. So next bullet point we have customer satisfaction is the difference between surviving and thriving, right? I think this is very important. Customer satisfaction is the difference between surviving and thriving. So, what's the difference between surviving and thriving? Why would you want your company to survive and to thrive? Andre said on the promotion of your own product. Okay. So, what do we have the difference between surviving and thriving? All right. So, surviving to me is having your company be in business for a long term. So just the ability to do as much as you can or enough as you can for your company to be in that minimum level, right? You're not totally crashing, you're not losing profits, but you're on that mid level. You're kind of just on that horizon, right? Now thriving is when you go on that extra mile, right? Things you don't have to do, but you do it so that you can make your customer happy. So that's going out of customer expectation. That's doing more than they ask, right? So that to me is the difference between surviving and thriving. Do we agree or disagree with that? Yeah, what do we think? Do we think we need our companies to survive and thrive? Do you think one is more important than the other? Agree, agree. Okay. So do we see surviving as like a short-term relief? Okay. Mercurio said thriving could be something like go to the next level, right? Yep. Absolutely. Thriving is like going to the next level, thinking far ahead, right? Surviving is kind of like a short-term relief. What can I do enough to keep my company afloat, to keep it in business? Um, Vladimir said agree. Arena said sure thing. I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher your name. But is it? I hope it's okay. I can try to pronounce your name. We have Ekaterina. I hope I pronounced your name right. I apologize. She said it's both important. And then we have, I think it's a great question to ask the team. Do we survive or thrive? Great exercise. Yep, exactly. You can use this as a team exercise. What would we think? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So now we see the difference. So now we stated that surviving is short term and thriving is long term, right? Keeping your current customers and then retaining new ones, acquiring new customers. So a few examples that we can look at is Trader Joe's, Netflix, Amazon, and Patagonia. Are any of you familiar with these companies? Either Trader Joe's, Netflix, Amazon, Patagonia. We should at least be familiar with Amazon, Netflix, right? Yeah. Right here in the States, where I live, Trader Joe's is one of the biggest company in my area because they're really into customer satisfaction. They actually go above and beyond to make sure that their customers' needs gets reached. One of my experience with Trader Joe's is every time I go into a Trader Joe's store, I have maybe like 2, 3 people that come up to me and ask if I need help, if they can help me shop. They even give me suggestions or different products I should try. So they're really their whole entire premise or their entire blueprint of their organization is customer service, customer satisfaction. Even if the customer is wrong, they try to find implement a situation where they can solve customer issues, even if they're at fault. So we have Mansoor that said, good evening, everyone. I'm extremely delighted to attend today's webinar. Thanks to Dr. Mansoor Alazi from Pakistan. Oh, welcome, Mansoor. Thank you for being here. Andre said, satisfaction with products is ease of use, increase demand for the proposed product and its functionality, accessibility for consumers, right? So he says satisfaction with the product. So that's first. And the ease of use is second. And we need to increase demand for the purpose for the proposed product and its functionality, accessibility to customers. Absolutely. So how can we make our products easily available and easily accessible for our customers? All right. Then we have if we don't boost our services and products, our competitors will do it. Absolutely. We have competition, right? We have companies who do the same thing that we do, who sell the same products, who maybe provide the same services. So, how can we stand out, right? The way that we can stand out is not only through the quality of our products, but how do we treat our customers and how do our customers feel about our products, right? About our services. Um, What's Patagonia? Oh, so Patagonia is a clothing company. They're very environmentalist. So they try to do everything um natural, for lack of a better word. So they do clothing. They have really cute sweaters. I'm promoting their company for free, but yeah, you should check them out. It's a really cool company. All right, so let's move on. All right. So let's take a look at this. So this is a diagram of customer centricity, right? So the components of customer centricity, we have feedback that drives continuous improvement. We have empower the front line, then designing the experience, metrics that matter, understanding your customers, and customer focused leadership. right? So these are all the factors that go into customer centricity. So putting your customer first, the blueprint, the foundation of your company, right? So it says placing your customer first and at the core of your business in order to improve a positive experience and build long-term relationships. So I bolded these phrases on purpose. So we want it at the core. We want to make sure that our customers have a positive experience, and want to make sure that we build long-term relationships. We want them to come back and back year after year, and also to tell their friends to also join, right? So customer satisfaction is influenced by all these factors. Okay. So far, what do we think about customer centricity? Do you think it's something that's possible that companies can achieve, or within your company? Um, do you think this is important, or do you have a different strategy that you use to uh, keep your customers first? Okay. You're welcome to participate. The more, the merrier. All right. So we said customer centricity is putting your customers at the core of your company. So right in the middle. So my question is, do we find this to be true? That we need to put our customers basically on the front line or at the center of our company to make sure that I guess it promotes profits or promotes long-term relationship or positive experiences. Yeah, so you can give a thumbs up. If you don't want to write, you can give thumbs up, thumbs down, whichever. Alrighty. Okay, thank you. So we have a reaction. Thank you. All right. Marina, please forgive me, I pronounced your name wrong. So Marina said customer centricity is when the company is oriented on the customer's needs, when the CST's needs or customers' needs are more important than the company's needs. Absolutely. That's a very beautiful definition. Yep. So she said you customer needs are more important than the company's needs. Awesome. Good definition. I have a question here. As you work for English for IT, do you guys teach communication tips that can be used that I can use in the workplace? Yes, we absolutely do. We have workshops. At the end of this presentation, there's a slide where there's communication platforms. So if you want more information about that, I'll share that information with you. But definitely, you can get communication tips or communication skills. Okay, so let's move on. So here's another question. There are two important questions to ask when establishing customer satisfaction. So the first question you need to know is, who are your customers? Right? And this is kind of like a general question. Who are your customers? Doesn't mean like you have to know every individual customer's names and where they live and their address, but kind of like the demographic of your customers, the movement of your customers. What do they buy? What products do they buy more? What platforms do they interact with your company more? Right. So that's what we mean by this is what we mean by who are your customers. Second question you need to ask yourself, what does it take to satisfy them? Right. As a leader, as a manager, as an HR director, as a business analyst, what can I do? What do I need to do to satisfy my customer needs? Do I need to go above and beyond? Right? Do I need to build like some type of relationship, some type open a communication line? Yeah. We have a question here. Should I discuss this question with or just myself? Both, right? This is an exercise you can discuss with your team during your sprint meetings or your stand up meetings. You can ask this question to your teams, or you can even ask this to yourself, depending on what type of project you're working with. Um, but this works both ways. Okay. So, who are your customers? Those who said you're a business analyst, and I have a few that said that you are a sales manager. So who are your customers? What do you know about your customers? All right. Do we know who your customers is? Like, for example, as a DevOps engineer, I work in several different types of projects, right? So my client base changes depending on the particular project I'm working for. So I had a particular project where we had to develop a geolocation app, and our target audience or our target customers were families who lived in rural areas, right? Who didn't have access to healthcare or couldn't travel to go to health centers, right? All the health centers were located very, very far. So our target audience was to look in the eyes of um, our customers. Why do we need to develop this app, and how can we make this accessible to them? I have Vladimir said middle companies. Okay, so what do you mean by middle companies? Do you have a specific like title besides middle companies? Okay. So yep, so first we need to know who your customers are and what does it take to satisfy them, right? So who are your customers? So your customers include anyone the organization supplies with products and services, right? Those are the ones who you provide good quality products, you provide services to. Those are the ones that we consider your customers. And if you don't know who your customers are, get to know your customers, right? There's so many tools out there, surveys, um, analytical softwares that you can use to know exactly who your customers are, to know the demographics of your customers. Are they older generation? We say baby boomers or Generation Z. Do they spend more time buying your products online, or do they do a traditional brick and mortar? This is ideas of getting to know who your customers are and knowing their behaviors. Andre said, it's good pronouncing action is a very nice thing. It's good pronouncing action. It very nice things. Oh, you're welcome, Andre. And we have great hack about the generation. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, and then we get into what does it take to satisfy your customers? So these are the tips that we want. How do we reach that satisfaction? Right? We need to offer services and products that they like or want. So I believe someone said this earlier, which is Marina, right? She said, Marina stated earlier that we need to is when the customer's needs are more important than the company's needs, right? This matches this first bullet point. We offer services or products that they like or want. It's not about the company, but it's about our customers. We listen to our customers' feedback. Is there something that they did not like? Is there a service that we did not provide? Right? Is this something that they did like and we need to repeat so that we can have build that long-term relationship, or invite more customers to come into our company? Right? So listening to feedback, very important. And we set realistic expectations. So realistic expectations is when you decide to go above and beyond. So not only reaching our customers' needs, but doing things that you don't have to do because you want to make your customers feel special, right? But you don't want to promise something that you cannot offer, right? So don't promise a service or a product or some type of resolution that you're not sure that you can provide that to your customers, because again, that will break trust. And again, when we have that word of mouth type of marketing, once that trust is broken, that gets spread to all the rest of the customers. So we don't want to make promises that we cannot offer. And then we have take customer experience as a priority, right? Customer first. That's the customer's first mindset, customer centricity, right? We have Arena said, our customers are those who fuel their vehicles. Yep, our customers are those who fuel their vehicles. So I'm guessing this back to the previous question when I asked who are your customers. Awesome. And lastly, be honest and empathetic in customer interaction. Right. So you don't want to lie to your customer. Again, that will break trust. So if it's something that you cannot offer, tell your customers the truth, right? And be sincere about your customers' needs, their requirements, or any issues that they're having. So always try to have that honesty and empathetic characteristic, right? Within your team or within yourself whenever you interact with customers. Because we want our customers to say, and we want them to come back, and we want them to tell other customers to come too. Okay. So, question to you all: what do you do to satisfy your customers? What kind of activities do you participate in, or phrases that you use to make sure your customers are satisfied? Okay. All right. So the question was, what do you do to satisfy your customer? So, what kind of actions or activities do you participate in to make sure that customers' satisfaction rate is high? How do you interact with your customers? All right. Awesome. So Andre said, as a developer is a person who pours his soul into a product to improve the functionality of what is already there. Absolutely. Return to the product, return to the quality of the product. Yep. Absolutely. Developers, they do pour their soul into their product, especially if you have to re re-edit the code over and over again. That continuous integration and that continuous deployment of trying to looking at customers' needs and making that particular part of the application better. Absolutely right. And he said for progress, and there will be progress only when there is a full. I think you meant full satisfaction. We have another one that said, we improve our products and services based on their requests. Absolutely. So that again is a great example of putting your customers first. So you get to know your customers, you understand their request, and you listen to their feedback, and now you're improving your products and services. Very good point. Anna said, we have interviews and surveys. Ah, very good. So that's a tool. That's a very good tool that you use doing interviews and surveys, that feedback, right? And Andre said, oh, you mean customers. Okay, no problem. All right. So let's go on and move to the next slide. Okay. So customer satisfaction is influenced by many factors. So what is customer satisfaction influenced by, right? Is influenced by how our customers perceive product quality, is influenced by customers' expectations. It is influenced by the service that's provided, the level of communication, whether that's poor or high communication, loyalty programs. So those are kind of like for those long-term customers, those customers that you build long-term relationship with, what do you offer them as an appreciation for sticking with you for this long, for being loyal to your company? So those are loyalty programs. And we have convenience. So how accessible or how easily available is your product to them? And I think someone said this earlier as well. All right. So we have Vladimir who said, at first describe customer for myself and post advertising. At first describe customer for myself and post advertising. Valdemir, please rewrite your statement for me so I can better understand. Marina said, I work as a customer representative and I always try to listen to our customers and to hear them, to hear their wishes and needs. Right. So to me, you already sound like someone um, who has active listening, right? That's an active listening skill. You're taking the time to understand your customers' wishes and needs. She also said, if they are not satisfied with their products or services, I try to find out the reason and to provide the customers with great, suitable solution for them. Awesome. Awesome. So that's a very good point. So if your customers are not satisfied with your products or with your service, do you just let them go and be like, oh, well, I have other customers? Is that a good thing to do? Right? I don't think so. What Marina said that she tried to find the best solution as she can to resolve any problems or any issues that her customers have. So instead of just shrugging your shoulders and be like, oh, I have other customers that are happy. No, deal with the customer that's not happy, right? Because you want to keep that relationship. Very good point. All right. So far, so good. Thumbs up. Are we doing okay? Right. We're all okay. We're liking this so far. Yes. 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 All right. Okay. So move on to the next slide. So this chart is called a customer satisfaction process improvement, right? So this was sourced from the American Society of Quality, and it's the process of how to improve customer satisfaction. So let's start with number one. So an issue is reported. So your customer has reported something that they don't like, or a service that they don't like, or a product that doesn't function properly, right? And then number two, you have to investigate the issue, right? You find out the reason why that issue was that certain problem was brought to light, right? You must investigate it, right? Then you move on to number three, you correct the action. So not only do you investigate and find out what the issue was, but you also take action in resolving that problem. You don't let it go, you resolve it. And once that action has been corrected, now you need to go back to your customer and follow up. Maybe you ask, you follow up with their issue. So what questions can you ask? Right? How do you feel about this resolution? Was this resolution a good was this resolution suitable to you? Is there anything else we can help you with? So it's kind of like a follow up. Those are some examples of follow up questions. So I have a question right here in the chat. It says, what if you're dealing with a problematic customer? Should we always try to make them happy anyway? Can you provide some real life examples? Ah, yeah, problematic customers. These are customers who seem to never be happy no matter what solution or what resolution you give them to their issue, or to their problems. Um, for the sake of keeping a good image of your company, because as a leader or as an employee, you represent the company you work with, or the organization you work with. So for the sake of keeping that good image, I think you should try, right? Even that customer is problematic, they're yelling on the phone, they're not satisfied with any resolutions that you're giving them, you're providing them. Try to keep that positive energy, right? Um, if they're yelling at you, if they're being nasty, try to be the opposite of that, right? Because again, at that moment, you represent the company. And then you want a real life example. Huh. Real life example. Okay, maybe I can do this one. This is back when I used to, um, I was in a supervision role. Um, so I had a customer who returned an item, right? that was bought from a different store, or he insisted that this item was bought in this particular store I worked for. So it was a lot of back and forth of, well, I was saying, no, this is not the, you didn't buy this product here. A lot of back and forth of arguing with the customer that they cannot return this product because it not belongs to the store. So at this point, what do you do? So you have to find ways to escalate the issue, right? Ways that you can, we did that was ask them for a proof of receipt, to make sure that the product that they bought was actually from the store. When the customer was being loud and yelling and being kind of aggressive, we stayed in our quiet tone, which also helped him to also calm down. So these are different examples of ways that you can kind of escalate and help a customer who's problematic so that the situation does not progress or become larger. I hope that helped. If that's a good example. If anyone else has a better example than I do, please go ahead and share. The question was, what's a real life example of a problematic customer that you dealt with, and basically a solution that you did to satisfy their needs? Okay. So we have another comment here. We said we need to realize root cause of their behavior. Yes, absolutely. So that goes back to right here, actually, point number 5. Yeah, root cause analysis. So how did this issue or this problem even occur? And the reason why we need to know the root cause so that this problem doesn't reoccur, right? You don't want the same problem to happen over and over and over again. Then it becomes insane, right? When you do the same thing over and over and over again, and there's no productivity or there's no resolution. So Anna says, sorry, an off-topic question. Will we have a webinar? Will we have a webinar record? I can text some slides maybe because of my network quality. Yeah, absolutely, Anna. This webinar, I believe, will be recorded. So you can definitely watch this again. Absolutely. And we have Andre who commented, your customers must been a one body control and understand all of them. Your customers must have been a one body control and understanding all of them. I think I understand what you're saying. Let me read this again. Your customers must have been a one body control and understand all of them. I'm sorry, Andre. I don't understand. Please go ahead and rewrite your statement, please. So let's finish up this diagram. So we stopped at customer follow-up. Now we're going to root cause, just like who stated root cause earlier? Someone stated root cause earlier. Yep, in the comments. Now we have preventative action. So what can we do? What action can we place moving forward that this issue does not reoccur? Oopsie. And then we have to follow up again. And now we have verification effectiveness. So not only have you corrected the action, you have followed up with the customer, you found what the root cause is, you implemented a action so that this issue does not reoccur. So how can we verify that this is not going to occur? So is there certain behavior or a certain change that we see in our company? And how do we do this? By doing customer surveys. So that's how we verify the effectiveness of our resolution. So these customer surveys, customer feedbacks, all that relate. Okay. So this is a process, customer satisfaction process improvement. Kind of a tongue twister. Customer satisfaction process improvement. So this is how it looks like. So what do we think about this chart? Is there something that you can add to this to kind of improve the customer satisfaction process? What would you add or what would you take away? Okay. Or which part in particular do you already use within your organization? Maybe someone said earlier customer surveys that they use. So what do you implement? Okay. Go ahead and interact. Share your thoughts, your opinions. Don't be shy. We love interaction here. Okay. So maybe I can share my opinion. Um, I'm a big fan of customer surveys. Even though I have to be honest that sometimes when I get off the phone with, let's say, Amazon, and they send me an email saying that I have to fill out a customer survey about their service. I don't always do it, and I feel kind of guilty not doing it because as I learned the importance of customer satisfaction and why companies do uh, have this process, um, now I fill out these surveys more often than before. So to me, I think that's one point that's very important, or one factor, or one element that's very important on this process improvement diagram is the customer survey. Awesome. So we have a comment here. It says customer service are great. Surveys are great, especially when companies use interactive tools such as Typeform, not just Google Form. Yeah, absolutely. Google Form looks very bland, and sometimes people don't have a lot of patience to go through the whole Google Form. So Typeform could be an alternative that's more interactive. Maria said root cause analysis. Absolutely. You use that. Good. Good. Awesome. Anyone else? What do you use in your company? Which which step of this process do you implement? Okay. There's one more before we move on. Almost there. Okay. I'm just going to move on. Hopefully you'll there you go. All right. So we have 4 metrics of customer satisfaction. So we have customer loyalty, customer retention, customer churn rates, and customer lifetime value. So these are the 4 metrics of customer satisfaction. So what do we mean by customer loyalty? I think we kind of touched that earlier a bit with customer loyalty. So to me, customer loyalty is establishing that long-term relationship with your customers, having them being loyal. What's another word for loyal? Having them being have that long-term attachment, right? Not going to your competitor. That's loyalty, right? Staying with you. You have customer retention. So that's your customer staying the over a long period of time, right? You have more customers staying in your company, or more customers shopping or buying your products or utilizing your services instead of them going to your competitors. And we have customers churn rates. So this was kind of a funny word to me, churn rates. I had to definitely do more research on that. And churn rate is described as the rate at which customers stop doing business with a company over a given period of time, right? So churn rate, you look at the rate at which customers stop doing business with you over a given period of time. So that could be for many reasons, maybe poor services, poor quality. So you look at how many the population of customers you had, let's say in the beginning of the year, and you look at the middle of the year and see whether or not you have a higher churn rate, right? You have more customers who did not return or who left. So churn may also be applied to the number of subscribers who cancel or do not renew a subscription, right? So if your company has this kind of like subscription platform or subscription service, you look at the numbers of subscribers who who desubscribed or did not renew their subscription. So, for example, Amazon Prime. So, Amazon has this metrics that they use to look at how many people unsubscribe to their Prime membership. So, that's one example. So, the higher churn rate is, the more customers stop buying from your business. So, a high churn rate percentage is not good. So that means that identifies the number of customers that did not return to your services or to buy your products. So next bullet point, the fourth one, we look at customer lifetime value, right? How do they value our company? Or how do we value our customers? All right. So let's look at a couple examples of what this looks like. So these are ways to measure customer satisfaction. So here we have customer satisfaction score, right? So customer satisfaction score is that linear satisfaction rating. So you know how sometimes, or if you do this in your company, you give like a scale of 1 to 3, or scale of 1 to 5, or scale to 1 to 7, and you have your customers score their satisfaction score, right? Um, with whatever service or whatever product you provided them. So it's that linear range of numbers that they give you, that you give them. Then we have customer effort score, which is CES, which is kind of similar to customer satisfaction rating, but instead you ask about how easy it was them to gauge or to find your products. So that's really diving deep of the accessibility and the availability of your products, and how easy was it for them to have access to it. So that's whether if you had, let's say you have a website online and they wanted to buy, what's a good example, a particular product on your, they're looking for a specific product. How easy was it for them to find that product on your page, on your website? So that's looking at customer effort score. And then another way to measure customer satisfaction is surveys. So that's kind of like on the previous slide that we have, doing surveys, doing feedbacks. Like someone said, using Typeform or Google Form. Um, those are other ways that you can implement customer surveys, follow-up surveys. Churn rate, that's what we discussed earlier. So looking at the rate of customers who left your company, who unsubscribed to your products, to your services, that's looking at that churn rate, right? And your short message SMS, so that's sending messages to your customers via text. So this is a few examples. This is a formula to look at customer churn rate. And I hope this is not too blurry for you, but it's basically you divide the loss of customers and you divide it by the total of customers that you had at the time times 100, right? So that's how you get your percentage. And this is another example of customer effort score, right? So effort score reflects the amount of effort a customer had to exert to use a product or service, right? How much energy did they, or how much time did they spend to find your particular product? Okay, and then this is a Google form of a customer feedback. And we always need to remember to exceed our customer expectations, right? Not just not just not just providing what they asked for or reaching their needs, but doing more than that. So again, going above and beyond. That's kind of like the phrase of the day: go above and beyond for your customers. And as you discuss with your team, and you can also discuss with your team or think this to yourself: what have I done today to delight and amaze my customers? Right. So what actions have you done today to delight and amaze your customers? So have you met your customers' needs? Have you gone above and beyond? That's my favorite phrase. Probably said this probably like 15 times already today. Above and beyond. Alrighty, everyone. So this is the last slide. Thank you so much for participating. Please go ahead and ask your questions, and I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. Questions, answers, feedback, comments, anything is welcome. Someone said, I had said I'm late. How they say half a loaf is better than one. Yeah. Half a loaf is better than one. Yeah. Better than none. Excuse me. Half a loaf is better than none. Absolutely. So welcome ahead. Or Mehmet. So, any questions? Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. Absolutely. I hope that you found these materials useful. And then, if you have any other questions or can provide feedback how to make this more interactive next time, please let me know. I have a question here. What does your team do to go above and beyond? Okay, very good question. So the way that my team actions that we implement to go above and beyond is doing these one-on-one follow-ups to our customers. So we don't only send emails when there's a customer issue. We just don't try to communicate over emails. We actually call them and make sure that their problem was had an appropriate resolution, right? So that's going above and beyond. Yes, you can just send a simple email and have that communication, but to us, listening to our customer's voice and having them express um, their issues or other ways that we can help them, we find that very important. We have thank you so much for the interesting information. It was very useful. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Absolutely. It was very useful. Thank you. You're welcome, Anna. Marie said thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. And again, please leave your feedback. Anything else that you would like to learn or for next webinar, definitely let us know. Let me provide you the English for IT information. So this we have Telegram, Instagram, and YouTube. Also our LinkedIn, Facebook, email address. So go ahead and contact English for IT for feedback, questions. I think someone said earlier for communication tips. So this is the platform that you can use to send your questions. Alrighty, how do we feel? Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I feel great. This is a great webinar. And I really do appreciate the questions and the participation tonight. All right. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Waldemir, you're welcome. All right. So I'm going to end. I think we're a little bit past time. I'm going to end our our streaming now. Again, thank you everyone for joining tonight. And I hope that you did take some notes with what was discussed today. And this is recorded, so you can definitely go back. All righty. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. And again, my name is Josephine. Bye bye.